SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's quick video, we're going to discuss a topic that was kind of a big thing at the T-Mobile Capital Markets Day. And they gave us an upward guide on the T-Mobile Home Internet. And they said they still want to grow, and they want to grow in a big way. They guided up from currently where they're at to an additional 5 million subscribers on the surface. That seems insane, but they might be able to pull it off. But let's see what's going to change for them in the future. This is not going to be the same market in which they enjoyed all their growth. Let me explain how this is all going to play out. A link for the T-Mobile live stream from the Capital Markets Day, I'll provide that in the description. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share this video. Subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. All right, folks, so T-Mobile's got a pretty fast network. They do absolutely have a fair amount of capacity that they can sell as home internet access. And that service has been selling like hotcakes. People are dying for it. They're looking for substitutes for cable. They're trying to get away from the explosive pricing models, and they're pretty happy with it. Some decent NPS scores from T-Mobile. So much so that T-Mobile felt compelled to guide up. They are approaching 7 million subscribers on their T-Mobile Home Internet, 5G home internet service. And they want to guide up to 12 million, which puts them at a plus 5 million over the course of the next 4 years. So they want to add, from what they already have at 7 million, they want to get to 12 million in 2028. That's not going to be an easy task, folks. You have spectrum constraints, you have fiber circuit limitations, you have tower density limitations. There's a lot of factors that are going to impact the actual network capacity. Let's just put all that to the side. Let's just talk about their competition. AT&T is selling Internet Air now. Now, it doesn't have the reach that the T-Mobile 5G home internet does. T-Mobile's been building out their dedicated mid-band 5G channels for several years. T-Mobile's building out theirs over the course of the last couple of years, right? So there's a different time element to it. But AT&T is building that, and they'll be pretty far along with this whole Ericsson Nokia transition, probably, through like halfway in that time frame by like 2026. So a year and a half from now, AT&T is basically done with their mid-band 5G build. And then Verizon, for what it's worth, has been growing like crazy in fixed wireless access, and their network is getting more modern outside of the cities. It's going into rural, it's going into suburban. They're competing for fixed wireless subscribers too. So what I'm kind of proposing here is the market's going to be different. T-Mobile enjoyed 5 millions, I'd say, let's just call it, when they were just selling the service by itself, like with no other competitors in fixed wireless, they added like 5 million subscribers. But since Verizon started selling it, their subscriber numbers did slow down a little bit. And that makes sense. They have a competitor. And over time, I would expect the subscriber numbers to slow down for T-Mobile too. I'm not quite sure they're going to get to the 12 million subscribers unless they drop pricing. That is the only way they are going to get to this 12 million subscriber number that they want to get to by 2028. They are going to have to be very cheap sometimes. So what do I mean by very cheap? They're going to have to be, substantially lower than cable, right? So if cable's selling, gig, 1000 megabit per second for $80, T-Mobile's coming in at 50, 55 bucks, maybe 60, whatever they've been doing lately. That's not the trouble. If cable's selling for 60 bucks, they're going to have a much harder time getting people to switch, but they could get them with, a $10 discount or something, run a promotion, charge them a little less, get them closer to 50, 40 bucks. But folks, they are going to have to compete with AT&T. They're going to have to compete with Verizon, and they're going to have to compete with cable. All of those forces are now in play. And when it comes to pricing, people are going to weigh their options. They're going to say, well, I can get Verizon for this much, and I can get AT&T for this much. And historically, we could say that on most metrics, those networks have been more reliable. And for what it's worth, based on the performance we've seen and dedicated QCIs and all those things, the Verizon home internet seems to have a higher NPS score. Customers seem more satisfied with it. It seems to be more reliable, and they do have a guarantee of service. So, T-Mobile doesn't offer those things. So you're going to be basically hoping you can get your customers to try T-Mobile and come to your side just based on the positive equity you have in the industry as being cheaper, lower cost, more customer friendly. But that's speculative. People are going to negotiate their mobile services much less, when networks are all the same, right? They're going to be able to kind of give and take and try and those things. But when you have home internet, there's a little bit more on the line because it has to be reliable. Customers are likely to churn. In fact, T-Mobile never talks about churn. So those are some of my concerns. I don't know, unless they sell it at a discount, they're going to be able to grow like that against all of those forces. AT&T, Verizon, big cable, they're all there now. It's going to be much harder to do. So we'll see. But what do you guys think? Consider the factors I brought up in the discussion. Tell me what you guys think. Do they still get to the 12 million subs by 2028? Is it going to be harder? Do you think they're going to have to drop pricing to be more aggressive? What do you think it's going to take? Sound off in the comment section below. You're the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.